Gotta finish water. I got my own water. Not really. It's a water to name tag.
But sure. Can't tell who's on.
State.
Hey Becky, can you hear me all right?
But they're.
That's our four top.
Can you hear me right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hey, usually your potential.
Yeah, and then
Just running around, so I don't leave that. So I got it. What was that out?
I'm working hard, 3 days.
Do you think I should share?
Yeah, that's like.
Just if I feel it.
Thank you. Be pretty smooth.
Do you own tennis shoes that match all of your suits?
Yeah.
Just asking.
As well, don't they?
You look sharp.
You look like you went through the Taylor Anderson School or fashion. And you look good.
I have many different sides of me. So that's one of those sides. So people don't get to see it very often. Now it's there forever. So
Congratulations.
thank you. Appreciate it.
Right.
I'm electronic. Okay, I have 5:30. I will call this meeting to order for the Denver Community School District Board and welcome everybody to the meeting. Is there, and Ryan, can you confirm that you can hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Excellent. So just want to confirm for those watching that Board Member Orchis is present virtually and can hear us. Okay. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
So move.
So
All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Consent items, everybody should have received the bills in their packet as well as some additional ones that Becky uploaded today. Does anybody have any questions on any of those bills or bills they wish to pull?
Make a motion to approve.
Second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Declaration of a conflict of interest. Does anyone on the board have a conflict they wish to declare on any of the items on the agenda today? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to public forum. This is the opportunity for the public to give us any input they'd like to give us. As always, I'd ask that you state your name so that Becky can record that for the minutes. The podium's up there. I do ask that folks go up to the podium so that we can catch you on the stream. And yeah, that's basically it. So with that, I'll welcome anybody to come tell us whatever they would like. Whatever ones you need.
Got it. Hi, I'm Amy Lockhart, and first of all, congratulations to the district on being recognized as one of the top districts in the state. Not only does Denver stand out academically, but it also excels in its fine arts and obviously with the athletics last weekend. Congratulations. This is a well-rounded, this well-rounded excellence demonstrates the dedication of not only our educators, our students, but the entire community. I have experienced this district, I'm overcoming bronchitis, so I'm short of breath. My apologies.
Okay.
I've experienced this district in two very meaningful ways. Number one, I've had two students, children who have graduated from here, and I've seen firsthand the impact of their education over the course of time. And I'm also a professor of education for the last 25 years, preparing pre-service teachers. So I've had the unique opportunity to observe our district through the lens of that professional teacher preparation. For the last 13 years, UNI students have completed several of their field experiences and their student teaching here in Denver in the K-12 classrooms. And since 2022 alone, UNI education majors have logged 10,064 hours of time in Denver classrooms. And that number only reflects the years that have been covered by our new tracking system that has been collecting data for just the last few years. So that total number of hours is actually higher. Most importantly, the positive experiences in Denver are not limited just to students. I personally supervise multiple students during the course of a year, but multiple colleagues in my department have also placed their students in Denver, and every one of them has reported that same exceptional experience that I have observed personally. Across all of these years and all of these instructors, the feedback has been unanimous. Denver provides outstanding mentoring, high quality teaching, and rich, authentic opportunities for future educators to grow and to learn. In fact, Denver's reputation has become very strong that I have to remind myself to remain professionally neutral when we're discussing school districts in faculty meetings, because Denver always tries to, it's hardest to jump to the top of my list. A student teacher of mine from last spring was so grateful for her experience here in the district that she chose to forego the Iowa Teaching Grant, which is equivalent to about $16,000, so that she could apply and get a job here in the district. I think that level of commitment is rare, and it speaks volumes about the environment that this district creates for both students and emerging educators. I want to express how incredibly proud I am of this district, our educators, our faculty, our students, and our administration, and to you, the school board. Denver is truly a special place, and I think our schools are at the heart of it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Point of order, can we have a time on that?
If you'd like 3 minutes, I was keeping track of hers and I was already gonna say that if you
What was
want
that,
3. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So you can, Mr. Scott, if you'd like to go ahead and go for your 3, go right ahead.
Oh. Hi, guys. Tara Woodley. Should not. Okay, so I'll try to make this as fast as possible, but I wanted to talk to you about our cheerleading program. And what we've kind of experienced as a cheerleading program and then what I see around what we compare to. One of the things that we actually work in our cheer program that I didn't think I was going to have to battle is having to repeat to my cheerleaders, 1, you belong, and 2, you're allowed to take up space. It's kind of a battle of having to say like, no, you can go, no, you can sit there, no, you can, like, you belong, get in there. And I'm very happy to say that here at Denver, it's so easy to have the support because I can say, go, you belong. And then there's always somebody at the other end going, come on over. So, a couple examples of that is one of my first practices last year. I had a cheerleader go, oh, no, we can't practice on football field because that's Barrett's field. And I was like, that's really weird that somebody would say that. Proud to say, never had an experience. Barrett is great to work with. We actually practice on the track right next to the middle school football players. Never had an issue. Corel is amazing, by the way, to work with in that situation, because never once have we even got a look of, hey, you guys are being too loud, you're playing too much music. Never, been great. Other couple examples is, oh, and speaking of football field experience, is we had a practice this year where it was middle school was working on the football field, we were on the track, and then cross country joined the party and started running. And it was really incredible to see just the teamwork between the three teams of all of us giving each other space, all of us being respectful of each other's like practice time. And it was great because normally cheerleaders are used to hearing, oh, well, this is our practice space, we're taking over, so you guys have to find somewhere new. And we've never experienced that. So that's pretty awesome. Couple other experiences that's not normal that we kind of have moments of like, oh, that's so nice. Is we had an experience where we came to a basketball away game yesterday or last year at Dyke, and we have to park in the back and then run to the front. And I just happened to look over and the door said girls locker room, and I was like, we're running through this locker room, guys. I don't care. Like, I'm not running in the cold. And my cheerleaders go, no, we can't do that. That's basketball. We're cheerleaders. We have to run around. And I opened that door up. Frost and Ackerson is sitting right there, and they didn't even blink an eye. They were like, yeah, come on in, come through. In fact, put your stuff down. We'll share the locker room with you. Didn't even think twice. That doesn't happen at other schools, which is kind of crazy to say that. But yeah, so it's really great that we are treated in that manner. We have Kyle Mathias calling me saying, hey, I'm grabbing roses for seniors. How many seniors you have? I'm like, he includes us without even thinking twice about it. Another example is because we're cheerleaders, sometimes we get in that position where we're fighting for practice space. Last year, I was trying to find practice space for my cheerleaders, and I had Sager come up and go, hey, we have this gym reserved. We're not really using it. Use it for our cheerleaders. It saved us because we were practicing for state at that time. So we were able to have that space. I had an experience, like I get to go to other events and I get to talk to other coaches about their experiences and I had
Can you wrap up?
yeah. Sorry. Okay. Well, thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Point of order, are we about 4 minutes? That's what I show.
Is there anybody else from the public?
I'm Andrea Lansing. I'll do cheerleading point 2 on Tara's assistant. Just to kind of continue about the cheer program, some of the great things that we've really gotten to handle this year, was, we had some of our cheerleaders make honor squad. And we know that a lot of other schools don't recognize that, but Sue and our school like recognized it, sent out a district-wide email for people to watch it on TV. Mr. Score has been great, huge reason and a big supporter of our program. Last year, Tara and I and the team nominated him for ICCA Coach of the Year, and he won that. So Tara got to present that award to him last April at our conference. But yeah, it's been really exciting to like work side by side with Tara the last couple of years. At the program, we're just kind of in the craziness right now of state for everything and but we've done, brought girls to state competitions. We got to bring ICCA camp to Denver this last year, which was new. So our girls got to experience that. All of you guys were great, and Mr. Sandram really advocated for us to have a cheer room. So we have a cheer room, which is the old band room, and it's so nice to roll out our mats and be able to do that. And we share it with the golfers, and they're great to work with. The boys are great, and Frost has been really working great with that. Yeah, overall, we've had a really, really great experience, and we know this from talking to other schools that they don't get that experience as we do with such a great school. Teachers, faculty, staff. I sent Mr. Pickett a picture the other day. Someone snapped it at state of him down on the floor talking to Michaela and Addie, and their faces were just beaming. And like my daughter, like she's one of the cheerleaders, like Michaela, like she was just like, that was my favorite picture. Like, oh my gosh. And he included them like in the state pictures. It was so amazing to be at state. And I know they're going to talk about it and recognize it, but to be a spectator at it and a coach at it, it was amazing. So I just, all the coaches are so great with recruiting our cheerleaders, and so yeah, we just want to say thank you.
Thank you.
I hadn't planned on speaking, and I won't speak 3 minutes. I have volunteered at the elementary school for a long time. And every time I walk in that building, there's the Pied Piper. He's in the hallway, those kids just cling to him, and I've said to him, how do you know all their names, Josh? He knows those kids' names. And that tells those kids that he cares about them. And the teachers, anywhere I walk, there's engagement going on. And the teachers are working extremely hard to create that kind of climate. And I might get emotional right now, but today I was at school. And I was ready to work with some kids, but the teacher had the kids up front sitting around her, and it was very quiet. So I just waited in the hallway. And so after a while, a couple of kids came out, I went and worked with them, and I visited with the teacher later. And there was something that came up that morning, this morning. So here's the teacher, there's a teachable moment that just off the cuff sits down with those kids. And she had their attention. They were just listening so intently. And it wasn't something that was in a textbook. It wasn't math, it wasn't reading. It was about life. And I was so proud of her. Because what more do we need than kindness and empathy in this day? So, congrats.
Thank you.
I don't like that. This is really funny. But my name is Gretchen Patlick, and my family's been a part of Denver Community School District since our oldest, who is now a senior, was in first grade. We originally chose Denver because of the proximity to our extended family, but we've stayed for so many more meaningful reasons. So tonight, I kind of want to just take a moment and tell you about Emmerich. Emmerich's a senior who's required extra support through his educational years. In elementary school, after an AEA evaluation, Denver helped him obtain an IEP, then provided extra time on tests, a paraeducator, Title I reading support, and time with an occupational therapist. In middle school, Mrs. Pouch and Mrs. Hurley, who I miss, helped Emmerich stay organized with his schedule and provided small group study support in her room. Mr. Gable also played an important role by helping Emmerich connect with a few other students who have since become his close friends. Before Emmerich started high school, we've truly debated sending him to a Waterloo school. I thought he might have more opportunities and better support. Ultimately, we chose to stay in Denver, and we're really grateful we did. Over the past 3.5 years, Mr. Anderson and Mr. Frost have gone above and beyond to make his high school a positive and meaningful experience. They have helped him get into classes that have interested him and provided extra support for note-taking and test-taking. And as a freshman, Emmerich spent one class period a day walking a dog from a paraeducator because being in a classroom for 7 hours a day for him was really hard. And since he loves animals, Denver found an opportunity he truly enjoyed outside of the traditional school setting. As a sophomore, he was allowed the opportunity to work at Denver Library during school, helping the staff, cleaning, event setup, and shelving books. As a junior and now a senior, he works at the Warburg Dining Center. He leaves school early 4 days a week and works there until 8:30 p.m. Emmerich is a total foodie, and he loves cooking, so Denver found a place for him to get job training. He's learning how to follow directions from supervisors, complete tasks, and gain real-life work experience. Emmerich has also toured several manufacturing facilities around Denver through Mr. Murch's class and with Mr. Foster through the AEA. These are places he could potentially work someday. Emmerich isn't your typical student, but Denver went the extra mile to make his high school years educational, enjoyable, and adapted to fit his individual needs. Denver has consistently provided strong communication regarding Emmerich's accomplishments, as well as areas where he needs continued growth. We are incredibly grateful to Denver Community School District. Every principal, every teacher, every paraeducator, and every staff member who has supported him over the last 12 years. And in 102 days from today, he will graduate. And we, my husband and I, are filled with joy knowing that he will forever be a Denver Cyclone. So thank you.
Thank you.
I just wanted to, invite you all to, the elementary concert. I know it's not really a blip on any of your radar because with the exception of Mr. Teeling, you don't have students in elementary school anymore. But our concert is moved back to March 10th. But I wanted to invite you to that because it is going to be a community folk dance. So, it's something that I've never done anything like that before. It's never been anything like that done here at all. So I just wanted to invite you because you will be allowed to participate in the concert as a guest. So, like all the other stuff I teach the kids, don't worry, you don't have to know because if I can teach 8, 9-year-olds how to do it, I'm sure I can teach 30 and 40-year-olds something. So I just wanted to invite you to that. It will be in the varsity gym, at 5:30 on Tuesday, March 10th.
Thank you. Could you please state your name?
As everyone else,
Yes. Would you please state your name?
Justin Scott,
Thank you. And is 4 minutes okay with you?
I'll try to say it as fast as I can.
Well, I wasn't implying that. I just, you asked on the point of order. I want to make sure you're comfortable with the 4 minutes.
We'll see how it goes.
So are you unsatisfied with the 4 minutes?
Why am I being singled out with this?
I'm asking because you called out 2 point of orders, so I
Okay,
just want to make
perfect.
sure. Are you
4 minutes
comfortable with
sounds
4
fair.
minutes?
Thank you.
Okay.
Last month, I promised a citizen audit. Tonight, I'm here to show you where I think the money went. Let me clarify. A lot of money has gone. You see, when you flip the switch in a dark kitchen, the cockroaches scatter. But in this story, the kitchen is our district and the feast is being had at the taxpayer's expense. Ladies and gentlemen, and anyone else, wherever you land on the gender spectrum, welcome to chapter 2. Buckle in. I have reason to believe that I have found the string that unravels the shell game. The district owns the Discovery Building, but legally it cannot provide them financial assistance without a valid 2080 agreement on file with the state. For years, the only agreement online was an expired version from 2009. Yet our tax dollars appear to have been pouring into that building's utilities, improvements, and even a renovation in our old high school. We are seeing a major citywide upgrade of infrastructure where the heavy financial lifting is done by us, the taxpayers. At little to no cost to the private business, using our tax dollars to finance the future of a private business without any legal standing to do so. When I asked City Hall for the receipts on February 2nd, I got silence. Suddenly, a 2016 agreement was uploaded to the state just last week. The cover sheet claims it's, quote, indefinite, the duration of the agreement. But the document itself says it expired in 2017. It's undated and unnotarized. A 1-year agreement is not indefinite. This appears to be a frantic last-minute effort to retroactively justify years of unauthorized spending. The contact person on the cover sheet, our superintendent. Think back to the last time you were asked for more tax money. You probably asked, didn't we just go through this? You aren't alone. We've been told to trust for too long. But when I try to verify, I'm ghosted and mocked. You'd think I was threatening to organize a demo derby on the 3rd hole of the golf course. But all I've done is asked to see the receipts. Receipts that shockingly both the district and the city have enlisted their attorneys to gatekeep. Tonight, I challenge this board, our city hall, and even Discoveries. Produce the receipts. Prove me wrong. Show the reimbursements, the notarized agreements, and the water bills. And if you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to fear. To the taxpayers, 2026 is the year the shadows disappear. And like many here, to our teachers, I want to say thank you. You are the heartbeat of this district and you have stayed strong despite being consistently undercompensated and undervalued by this administration. You're the ones doing the work. It's time you had a board and a superintendent that prioritized you over illegal subsidies, gold-plated utility loops, and bloated administrative salaries. Before I go, I want to state for the record that this board can attempt to scapegoat me for the cost of their ethical failings all at once. Go ahead. Point the finger at the guy asking for the receipts. In the words of Tony Montana famously said in Scarface, you need people like me. You need people like me so you can point your finger and say, that's the bad guy. But the next time you hear anyone behind that table or any mouthpiece in the paper try to claim that I'm the reason for these mounting attorney fees, just remember this. Transparency costs very little. A well-orchestrated cover-up costs a hell of a lot more. I yield my time, but I also have paperwork, and I'd like to submit this for the record. Formal notice to board secretary, the attached documents and the full text of the statement are hereby submitted as official exhibits to the public record of the February 11th, 2026 meeting. I formally request that these records be filed with the permanent meeting archives and the submission be explicitly noted in the published minutes pursuant to the public's right to an accurate and complete record of proceedings. Thank you. Board President, would you like one?
Sure.
Thank you.
Anybody else, have any comments? Before we close public forum? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to old business, and I will turn that over to Superintendent Laura's introduction for us.
Yeah, I'd like to start, I did a little research, I had a little research that I was gonna ask Jared, who's by some of these things. Back in 2019, 2020, we hired the first dedicated female wrestling coach. Her name was Cassie Herkelman, now it's Cassie Herkelman Jakarbik. Butchered that, but that too is could work as well. So we were one of the first people or one of the first schools to do that, and back then it was unsanctioned, but we had quite a few girls that were interested in wrestling, and eventually they would go to that first state tournament in Waverly. And I just wanted to recognize that, to see how far we've come since those days where we were just cutting our teeth. The sport of girls wrestling was sanctioned by the state of Iowa, the Girls Association, in 22-23. So we're in year 4 of that. One other thing I want to point out is in the 21-22 season, Morgan Smith was the first state champion here from Denver. And if you watch the wrestling finals on TV, I don't know how this appeared. I was there live, but if they said her name, that was a Denver girl, and she won in 21-22. Very exciting times. Jared was there. I remember was one of her coaches. So anyway, with that said, I'm going to have Jared do the introductions of the team here. We've got some that are not here due to being at Big Game, I think is the wrestling club they're at tonight. And part of the reason they have the success they do is just a handful of days after the state tournament, they're out training again. So I'm gonna have Jared come up here and well, you can sit there too if you'd like, it's okay. But Jared is, and I know this is uncomfortable, we've had a lot of uncomfortable moments with this, but the 1A coach of the year right here. Jared, if you would introduce the folks that are here and maybe we could do a little Q&A with them.
Great. I'll stand here. Right. I've won Coach Pickett, and I've got a lot of girls that are here. Kate Knudson's right there. She's one of our state qualifiers. First time state qualifying this year at 135 pounds. I've got Maya Kiefer here. Maya wrestled for us at mainly 110 this year. Got a little dinged up really early in the season. Wasn't able to finish the year at least wrestling with us, but she kept coming to every single practice, and I love that. Got Ruby McKinney here. Ruby's a junior, right? And she has just been in my opinion, a pillar of our program. We've had a lot of like long conversations, Ruby and myself. And yeah, like the Waterloo Arena, which has been really good, but talking about direction of our program, and she's been a bedrock for us for a long time. Kennedy Burke, Kennedy, did you start wrestling in 8th grade or as a 7th grader? It's in terms of, did I see that she was gonna have the success that she's having right now during her first year? I did not, right? And I mean that like as a coach, sometimes, not sometimes, all the time, you just are really patient with kids and you recognize that who they are as young kids, it's not who they're gonna end up becoming. And so, I just gave her an opportunity and she gave herself a lot more opportunities and sorry, it was a lot of fun watching you wrestle on Friday. I had a chance to beat a girl that I don't think you thought you were gonna go out there and beat. So, Kennedy Burke right there, state runner-up for us this year. I don't know if I'm seeing any other high school girls that we got Michaela here as well. Michaela Lansing, great moment. Coach Jeremy Peterson here as well, and then Coach Heather Peterson, and Coach Heather has been with me basically since the beginning. And Coach Jeremy Peterson and decided to follow his wife, which is pretty normal. But yeah, I just want to take a moment here and I don't like to make things about myself, and I haven't even really decompressed from Friday, to be honest with you. I just came to work on Monday like I knew I was going to do, and but just went right back to work and talking about some of those kids that won state championships. They went right back to work on Monday, and I just appreciate all the opportunities that the board, my family, the community has given me here in Denver, more specifically the kids. But it was I'm not sure how to talk about this a ton, but I was in a sweet spot over the weekend, and I had people that have never seen girls wrestling before talk about how excited they were to watch kids from Denver and comment like it was fun and looked entertaining. You can just tell the kids put a lot of time into it, and I know I put a lot of time into it, and I just appreciate that. I think more women are getting opportunities to just have success. So I appreciate you guys giving a ton of different people opportunities to be successful. I want to say thank you. If you guys have questions, more than welcome to, but I'd rather sit if that's okay.
Yeah.
I just want to point out, I had the fortune of having a child that was convinced to wrestle by Mr. Pickett, and so I got a front row seat to see like Maya and Ruby develop over the season. You guys have improved so much throughout the course of the year, and Kate back there made it to state, and at the beginning of the year, I don't know if you were quite where you were at the end of the year, but you were a hammer at the end of the year, and Kennedy was the double hammer by the end of the year. The best part was watching Kennedy wrestle and watching how nervous your parents were. At the same time, I was hoping they'd pull through, and they did, and just, it's amazing to see how these guys work and how these guys work with the boys team as well, and trading coaches around and working together. It's neat to see. It's been neat to have a front row seat to this. So thank you guys and girls.
So did any of you ever think when you're growing up, there's no way I'm ever gonna wrestle? That's not for me. I mean, was it just something? Kate's shaking her head. What was the change? What made you do it?
Freshman year, I was planning on going out for basketball, so I've done that since 3rd grade, and then Ruby said that I should wrestle, because I was kind of iffy on it, and I did, I liked it, and went out. So, yeah.
I had the pleasure of watching you guys qualify for state here, and then unfortunately I watched it on TV, but I think Kennedy and Kate, you guys, when you qualified, it was like, oh my gosh, this is real. It's happening. I can't believe it. So was it a goal of yours, or did you ever foresee that you were gonna make it to state? Either of you? You knew you were? I like that. Okay, no. Well, congratulations, ladies.
Thank you.
Yeah, and one thing I'll add is they had some new beginning wrestlers, let's just say, that joined in, and every single girl from every single girl was very welcoming, very helpful, every single coach, from your top girl to your beginner girl. Everybody helped each other out, and it was really cool to see that.
I was fortunate enough to make it to the first girls' state. I had two nieces that wrestled, one for Union and one for Waverly, and it was a very thrown together kind of hodgepodge. And to see it, and the one niece kind of just started going out, but the one you guys, the Petersons know, she'd been wrestling on the boys' team, so that was her chance to kind of shine with the girls. But to see it now, you know, you're walking out through the fireworks and stuff, and it's pretty amazing.
Well, I just want to congratulate you all on your hard work and want to congratulate the coaches, all of them. This doesn't happen overnight, and it's a privilege for me to say the same thing that I said about volleyball, which is that this doesn't happen because of what you did in a short period of time. It happens because of the effort that you put in over a long period of time. And it happens because of the effort that your parents and your coaches and everybody put in over a long period of time. And there's a lot of sacrifice and a lot of discipline that goes with all of that. So you should all be commended for the effort that you put into it. It doesn't come easy. So congratulations, and you did us proud, and wow, it looked so much fun on TV, and it's so much fun to see all the Denver folks there. And then I saw Amber on TV and I was like, so yeah, it was all very fun. Thank you very much for the ride, and congratulations on a lot of hard work. Well done.
And thank you to the cheerleaders that supported them throughout the year.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You guys want to tell us anything else about the experience?
Kennedy does, I can tell.
I mean, we've worked the entire season to get where we are right now. I mean, we've put in a lot of work and I felt like it really paid off. I mean, 5 state qualifiers, that's a pretty big deal. And then winning state, that's just crazy to like think about. Like, I probably never would have thought that would happen my freshman year, but we worked really hard and I'm proud of our team.
And I think the one thing, Kennedy, I was fortunate to talk to her on the floor after it was all over. And I'm pretty sure after you wrestled, the level of your belief went from like a 1 or 2 that I can maybe wrestle with this girl, if you wrestle her again, I think you might have beat her. So I think that probably is sprinkling through all of you. But it's pretty neat to see the level of belief and the ability that you guys now know that you have. So congrats.
I was honored to be with you guys, and I'm ready for round 2. Go Cyclones.
360 days.
Hey, at least you didn't get tackled, Jared.
Kennedy, you have a mission.
Right, anything else? All good?
Nope.
All good. Thank you, ladies, very much. We appreciate it. Next item is to set our public hearing for construction projects. What's the date that we've set for that?
February 23rd at 4 o'clock. It's going to be in that old boardroom that's right down the hallway from our office.
Right.
And at that meeting, we're also going to hopefully approve plans and, if suitable, approve bids.
So I suggested that time at 4 because I have another meeting I have to go to tonight. So just so that the public knows, it's a little bit of a different time because I have another meeting I have to go to. So that's why we did it at 4. And we did it in that space because that's what the individuals who are proposing bids is the space they're familiar with. So that kind of makes sense for them to come back there as well. So, and we'll publish notice of that date as well. So tonight is a motion to set the public hearing for 4 o'clock on February 23rd.
So moved.
Second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, Brad, tell us about the bids for the E-rate equipment.
Yeah, actually Becky's gonna talk about this. I would like to say thank you to Chris McCarville he spent a lot of time putting this together. E-rate is something that every 5 years, that's funding that's available from the government. And basically they pay about 50% of different projects that we have going on. So Becky, you want to talk about the bids, the
Yep.
winning bids?
So we've got three different projects here. We've got replace wireless access points in the old building. So that's the elementary, by old building, we mean the elementary legacy building. CDWG was a little bit at $55,120. And then we had 5 bids for that. Then the next project is another award of CDWG for $68,466. That's for the licensing on the wireless access points. Again, paid half by E-rate. There were 4 bids on that one received, with CDW being the low. And then the third project is Hamilton Video for $25,200. This is for an internet wiring upgrade for new access points in the elementary legacy building. There was just 1 bid received on that. The bid process is done through the E-rate system.
So you load up onto the system what you need and then wait for the proposals to come back.
Yep. You do.
Questions? And are you looking for a motion to award all 3 of these in one motion, or should you want to do one individually? Then we could award all 3 in one. Okay.
Make a motion to award them as presented.
Second.
Any further discussion? Ryan, any questions for you?
No, makes sense to me.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. And now we have our first reading for policy 210-02.
Yeah, so this is a policy regarding regular board meetings. Our current policy says that the board meetings will set, the board will set start times at the organizational meeting. That's been our practice, going back as far as I know. We've always set that at 5:30. The policy also says that the meetings will begin promptly at 6 o'clock PM. So we're going to just strike out the at 6 PM part. And that way, the first part of the policy and the second part of the policy don't aren't in conflict with each other.
Or at least an appearance of conflict. I move to approve the first reading.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next is new business, bids for turf.
Yeah, this is pretty exciting. We're putting turf in the old wrestling room. And I want to thank Mr. Sinram and Mr. Rewerts for the time they spent putting these bids together and talking to the companies as well. And so the vendors, Iowa Sports Turf, Field Turf, and Turf Factory Direct were substantially higher. One was 27,000, one was 30,000, another one was 18,000. The fourth quote is the winning quote, and that's from Midwest Field Turf. This product is lightly used. It used to be in a South Dakota band field, and it has 3x5 sections that just fit together, so it'll be easy. You can move it around and take it out if you have to as well. So that winning bid is $12,800. It's going to be split 3 ways with the district, with baseball and with softball. So looking for approval of Midwest Field Turf. Price is $12,800.
I will make the motion to approve Midwest Field Turf to install the turf.
I'll second that. Any further discussion?
So you can take these up. So if something were to happen, you could replace a panel, not have to replace the whole
Yes,
sticky
yeah.
adhesive and a whole mess.
Yeah, there's no adhesive. That's the big,
Nice.
that's a big advantage of this one.
Okay.
Any other questions? Nope. Okay, we have first and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Ryan, did you say aye?
Yep, aye.
Thank you. Any opposed? Motion carries. And now we need to set the dates for public hearing for our fiscal year 2027 budget. Becky, why don't you just do a brief overview on the dates and what they each one does?
Sure, there's two public hearing requirements for our budget. The first one is to review the tax rate that we've proposed. Everyone in the county will get a notice. They should have that by March 20th. So we can't have the public hearing before then. So our first public hearing that we're proposing here be for March 22nd. The second public hearing, sorry, 26th, March 26th, that's on Thursday. The second public hearing would be for a budget adoption, and that would be held at our regular April meeting. And that would be April 8th. So March 26th on a Thursday. And April 8th, regular April board meeting.
Got it. And the budget is due to the state by April 30th.
That's correct.
Okay. Questions on the purposes of the two public hearings? Nope. You want, how about, are we setting both dates in one motion?
Yes.
I'd move to set the dates for public hearing for the fiscal year 2027 budget, as you just identified, which was March 26th, and then second at our regular April board meeting.
Not second.
Any further discussion?
Does that have a time? 5:30 p.m. Same time as we normally meet.
For the March 26th.
For the,
one,
yeah, okay, that was my question.
Thanks for
clarifying that. Okay,
Yep.
thank you.
Okay, there's first and second. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, the academic calendar. You're up, Brad.
All right, so been spending a lot of time putting together a calendar. Surprisingly, or not surprisingly, a lot of these parts just naturally fit because there's a certain date that you can start now. You know, your winter breaks kind of fall at a similar time. A lot of things are already preset, but there's a few things that are a little bit different. And I'll talk about those. I also want to mention that we have a labor management group, which is our administrators, and it's a group of teachers, and we go over different things that are on their minds or some things that they would like in the handbook, that type of stuff. And we also bring this calendar there, and I get feedback in other ways as well, but we also bring this calendar to that group and bounce some of it off of them. And they had some really good ideas that we ended up doing a survey of the staff and got a couple things that are going to be a little bit different than the original version that I had for you guys, but just some of the highlights. Start date of August 24th, it's a Monday. Professional Development Day on October 5th, and conferences kind of that same right before Thanksgiving. We looked at, so on the original draft that I had, I looked at an early out on December 23rd, and we did a survey. The labor group talked about that as being maybe that's not the best. Let's see what our staff would prefer. And believe it or not, 67% preferred to be out on December 22nd, only 32% on the 23rd. So I'm going to recommend, instead of an early dismissal on the 23rd, I'm going to recommend a regular dismissal on the 22nd. It was a lot of different reasons why, and I guess I won't go into all of that, but one of them was that really short day is too hard to get a lot of stuff done. So get a day that's more valuable, and that's good feedback coming from your teachers. So anyway, so looking at that early out, or excuse me, the dismissal for winter break on December 22nd. And that does add a day to the end of the year. Then professional development on January 4th. We all feel like that's a pretty good day for our staff to help get ready for that, that stretch down the last stretch of the year. The ML King holiday on January 18th as a PD day. That's one we switched a few years back and got some input from parents that wanted to have that day off of work to have the kids off on that same day as well, instead of some other random day in January. So it'll be a staff PD day. The kids will be off on that day. Spring break was another one that the labor management group questioned and said, hey, what what else could we do? Let's take a look at this. So, I also surveyed our entire staff on that one. And the choices were to keep spring break aligned with other schools, to move spring break back a week, so a week later. Contractually, the teachers are required to have that Good Friday off, the Friday before Easter off. And so we have to have that day off. And we thought, well, if we move spring break back a week, that'll encompass that date as well. And then the other option was no spring break, but add a few days off to get 3-day weekends or a 4-day weekend on the Easter weekend. And 51.7% want to keep spring break where it's at with traditional spring break, with 21% moving spring break back, and 27% saying no spring break. So that'll be my recommendation, is to leave spring break on the calendar as is. I think it's hard for families that these kids go to different schools, because when their kids on a different schedule, if we don't do spring break at the same time, maybe some people would want that, but most people wouldn't want that. And also, if you have a child in college, you're at different spring breaks as well. So so that was pretty overwhelming feedback. There's one other question that was just totally brought up, and that's doing our professional development days instead of going Wednesday, Thursday, Friday before school starts. How about going Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday to allow more time for maybe a 3-day weekend, one last getaway, etc. And that was overwhelmingly 51% of the people said yes. 22% said no, or no, said it doesn't apply to me, and 25% said they wanted to keep it the other way. So those work days will be on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Seemed like something very simple. I didn't think of it, but the labor management group came up with that idea, and teachers like that. So then let's see. So with spring break at the traditional spot, that following Friday would be off. Like I said, that's contractual with our teachers that Good Friday would be off. And then the last day would be May 26th, but now it would be May 27th because because of that extra day on the 23rd being off. So that makes sense too. So looks like a pretty good calendar. We have to do a public hearing on it, and then it would be approved next month. So it's a two meeting approval.
Did you end up with extra hours like we've historically done, so you have flexibility?
Yeah, I calculated that about, I calculated a lot because it's a little tricky, but with this calendar, we would have 47.95 extra hours, which is almost 7.4 extra days. So we've got some days to work with there if we need to, or if we want to make those up, we could do that too.
Questions?
And it's still a draft too. If we make these changes, I'll go through and double check and triple check.
Right, we're not approving till next month.
Correct.
Okay.
Thank you for reaching out to the labor management and the admin team to reach out to the teachers and get their feedback.
Yeah, and I get teachers that'll tell me this stuff too, but it's nice to have that in a survey format as well, so.
I will then.
So there is no motion currently.
Not currently. That's just the presentation of that. We now move on to the public hearing regarding the calendar. So if the public wants to tell us anything about the presentation that he just had, I can. I'll open up the public hearing for comment regarding the 26-27 academic calendar. Going once. Okay, I will close the public hearing for the 2026-27 academic calendar. And we'll look to approve it next month, and you guys can study it some more if you've got other questions or anything. Okay. Right, next is approval of the consent agenda personnel matters. There are a number in here. I'll have Brad go through one of note, which is congratulations to her, but also very sad to see her go, is Miss Victoria. She is going to enter retirement, and again, many congratulations to her, but I know everyone has had her touch their children's lives in some way, shape, or form over the last number of years. So sad to see her go, but also congratulations to her and her husband on this next phase of their lives, which will I'm sure be a fun one. Grandkids and a fun one. So anyway, with that, Brad, I'll turn it over to you for all of the others.
Yeah, so on the to hire list, Allie Miller. Allie is a middle school language arts and math teacher. Allie is teaching currently in the Cedar Falls district, and we're pretty fired up about her. We're very excited when she accepted and is gonna do a great job for us. Other hires, Shane Miller as custodian. Shane used to coach wrestling back here. A few years back, some of you may know him. Maggie Bossum and Aubrey Woltz, they're recent Waverly Shell Rock graduates and have been serving as para-educators here. Vivian Homowen, I think I said that right, and Becky Foland as part-time lunchroom workers as well. So then we have track coaches. These are people, most of these are people that were previously returning, but it's time to, if you approve, to renew their contracts. So assistant coach Zach Stager, assistant coach Isaac Barrett, 0.5 throws and field event coach Kaiser Allen is going to also be with the girls as well. Travis Miller as middle school track and Lexi Miller as middle school track. And then girls track, we have Valerie Pickett as assistant varsity and Kaiser Allen once again as 0.5 shared throwing with the boys and the girls. Megan Newborough as middle school track coach and Peyton Miller as middle school track coach. Soccer coaches, we have boys soccer assistant Gabe Shepard. And then girls, we have a new head coach, Kane Eagle. Kane is a Denver grad and played some football at Wartburg and has been an assistant here as well. So looking forward to Kane Eagle as that head coach.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
Move to approve all as presented.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. And again, thank you to Miss Victoria for incredible run here at Denver Schools. Reports, Mr. Sinram.
Yep, so first thing I had, okay, so on January 15th, Mrs. Pollock, our halftime tag teacher opened up to 10 different schools around the area for an annual chess tournament, second annual one, so we can say that now. Super busy, a bunch of kids came down. It was just, it's really cool. She's trying to really, she's only here halftime, but she's trying to make it her own, make her program. You know, do something different and get kids excited about that. So I wanted to thank her for organizing that. That is real. And I think her brother-in-law made a scorebook for a chess tournament, which I can't do that. So I thought that was very impressive. So shout out to her. The elementary FAST data, the winter results, that has early math, A math. Again, that's that test that we have to take. I say that nicely, we have to take from the state level, and early reading and A reading. We usually see kind of longitudinal data. Our fall comes in really high, we dip in the winter because the benchmarks change a lot. But then we go right back up to where normally in that right 85 to 92%. So our kids are doing really well. We're right where we have been in years past. So just want to thank everyone for their hard work on that, and we'll report out when we do that again. We get to do it again in the spring.
Middle school, you see our middle school FAST data, and that's for sixth grade. We're only required at the sixth grade level right now. Both the A math and A reading, just like elementary. Kids perform very well, and we'll continue to work with those that are maybe below the benchmark right now, and hopefully get them above before we test again in the spring.
A couple things just from curriculum corner. I don't know if you guys heard or not, but on January 15th, they approved a new social studies curriculum or standards in the state of Iowa. And with that, they kind of got rid of a lot of stuff and they kind of rewrote the whole structure. And where they were refining in ELA and math and science, they refined it in the past. This they kind of redid everything and strengthen it with them. And as a school district, we'll have about a 3-year time frame to be able to get that fully implemented. And then ISAP changes, which we'll be testing starting in mid-April through about mid-May. Some changes there. They once again have added additional content to both the ELA and math tests, and they're trying to make stronger alignment to the standards. Science will also have that happen in 2027, but for this year, it'll remain the same. The math test, the reading test in the past was adaptive. This year, the math test, so the kids will take one level and then it'll adapt, and it will move to one of 3 other levels at the second stage. And then the ISAP scores for parents, their performance levels will be different this year. Rather than the old traditional that they had just 3 things, they're going to 4. The levels of performance will be below, approaching, meeting, or exceeding. And so the reports are going to look a lot different, and we won't put those until next fall. Get that with all this. This current model with the 4-tier structure is currently in 47 states. So I was one of the last 3 to adopt it. And so I guess it is going to be a little bit of a difference, but I think our kids can meet the challenge. So looking forward to that. And then I just listed some middle school activities that are coming and so forth. Believe it or not, our winter activities are getting close to the end, even with the split seasons. But you have an opportunity to see our middle school girls wrestling program next Monday here at Denver. The middle school boys have a couple basketball games coming up yet. And then you can also get a chance to see our middle school cheerleaders in action. They do a super job of supporting those various teams. And then last of all, we do have a 512 band concert coming up on February 26th. So that will be a great opportunity to see the progression that the students have been making since the fall concert.
All right, well, I'm gonna have the opportunity to talk just about winter season extracurricular activities. And, it's one of the opportunities I get at high school is to see all the ways that our students get to be involved outside of the regular school day. And when students are involved, we see just an increase in participation, engagement, and excitement to be at the school. And so I just want to highlight a few things, and I probably won't get it all, but first of all, I did have on there, the girls wrestling and the state championship there, and just kudos to everybody around that program. Seeing the energy from even the beginning of the year to the end, having girls going out for the first time and then having a lot of success and even just feeling like a part of that community. So a huge shout out to the coaches and to Jared and everybody for, it's just going to be really fun to see this grow. And in a couple of years, I think the number that we're going to see sitting in those seats and having those experiences is going to be, it's going to be a lot more. So kudos to all of you for going out early and being a part of that. Specifically wanted to highlight, Abby, Violet, Lily, for their first place at the tournament. Kennedy with an incredible finals match. I got to talk to her afterwards as well, and I saw it as well. Just the difference in your mindset, and I'm excited to see things for you next year. I think the belief is there, and also Kate for going down. And I wasn't able to be at the districts to go to state, but that was the first thing I heard when I got back to school on Monday was you should have seen Kate's match. It was incredible, and to see that whole place erupt, when I did watch it on the live stream. But just that was like talk of the town. Nothing against the other girls, that was phenomenal, but kudos to you for that experience. And so a lot to build on. It's awesome. And then obviously to Coach Pickett, and I just want to thank everybody. That was really positive. And being there, getting to go down for state volleyball was an incredible experience. And then the girls athletic union does a wonderful job putting that on, and it just makes everybody feel incredibly special no matter where you're at, and it's a wonderful venue down there in Iowa City. So it was awesome. I could talk a lot about it, but we'll keep going. The next one is a large group speech. So another one of those opportunities that Mrs. Badenhop, she's an English teacher for us, and Mr. Kluber is the assistant.
they took three, they took, at the state competition, they had three groups earn the overall 1 score. They had 2 groups earn an overall 2. And they really did a great job. The numbers for that speech program are really, they're doing a great job of sustaining, and it's fun to see students that are involved in all the other things also doing speech. I don't think in high school I knew that we even had speech, and that's why I tell everybody, like, try all these things, and get outside your comfort zone. So really cool to see that. And I will say on April 10th, they are going to be doing a speech showcase. That's going to incorporate, they have another season, individual speech coming up here now, a large group. And so they're going to be highlighting some of those at 6:30 on April 10th. So a lot of times you can't go to those events, but we'll be having one here in Denver. Another group is Cybots, 5975, and they advanced to the state FTC competition. So that was, they actually did that on January 17th, and then they had some time to prepare and get the robots ready. But it's really fun to see another group of students that get super excited about stuff that, like you said, you couldn't build that chess thing probably. No. When I see them building this robot and doing all the competitions and just the level of, it is incredible what these students are, and the volunteers that help with that, and April Wilson and the other coaches Ashley Wilson, just doing a really wonderful job. They won the league championship and they got 3rd place in the Inspire Award, which is a pretty high bar to hit. So congratulations to the robotics team as well. That'll be, I think they're leaving on the 27th and 28th is when they're gonna be competing at state. Another group to highlight is the academic decathlon team. You might say, what is academic decathlon? Well, that is for students that want to do more academics. There's 10 different competitions within this where they get tested on their knowledge and skills, and they go in and they study a certain topic or whatever it is. And Mindy Giesler is the coach for that, and it's really fun to see. Like, I talked to Addie Brown, for example. She got silver in the interview, and she's like, I was really nervous about public speaking, but it was so good for me to get out of my comfort zone. And then Caitlin Gomez also earned bronze in what's called social science. So, but yeah, just neat to see these students interested in these. And again, students are out for other things. Also, we've got bowling heading into postseason soon, girls and boys program. We are hosting at least the first and second round of boys and girls basketball. So we're gonna have a lot of events. Cyclone Center is gonna be rocking up there pretty soon. So good luck to all of them. The boys wrestling, they have districts this weekend at Webster City. And so just a good luck to all of them and as they prepare for their postseason run. So that's just a few of the things. It is so fun to see the students and get to talk to them and engage with them about these items. So congrats to all of the students, the coaches, and everybody involved. The parents, you're running all over the place, and you're, buying tickets to get in all these events, and you're supporting the concession stands. It's just it's a big community event. I did write up here that I wanted to say that it is incredible to see the opportunities that our students get here at Denver. We are a small school with big school opportunities, and that's something that we're very proud of because of all the things. It takes a ton of effort. I mean, with the activities, and the things that Mr. Score puts together, and Sue, a huge shout out to all of them for all the coordination that goes into every single logistic of an event. So that way the students and the coaches can show up and enjoy the event, and the booster club as well. So what I kind of put here is from athletics to fine arts to academics, our students are fortunate to be a part of these programs that challenge them, build confidence, and create lasting memories. These successes are made by the dedication of our coaches, our advisors, our parents, volunteers, and a supportive community. We're proud of our students. We're grateful for our community, and that continues to invest in our younger generation. So go Cyclones. That's all I have. Speaking of Cyclones, though, don't go quite yet.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Sinram and I and Mr. Gable have a couple quick announcements.
Yeah, and I have to say, I missed this one for the December board meeting. Sarah Kensling, special education teacher here, welcomed Lainey Ray and Lennon.
Congratulations.
Yes, and I want this elementary to get healthy so she can bring those little friends in here and pass them around, but not just yet.
Another new Cyclone. So Jillian White is the instructional coach at the middle school and high school for Mr. Gable and I and all the staff. And her and her husband, Luis, welcomed Eliana Luce to the world on January 20th. And so super happy for them. Got to see Eliana in a video. Mr. Gable and I still have ongoing meetings. We're meeting with outside folks. And she zoomed into one, like maybe a week after she had the little one, and wanted to see how things were going. And I got to meet just virtually. So again, I hope we get healthy too, so she can bring her in. But love seeing our newest school Cyclones, and our staff is just really excited to get to meet them and support them. So we wanted to make sure we highlight that.
Yeah. Thank you. Mr. Lowers.
Yeah, so, first of all, I'd like to talk about our district girls wrestling meet that we hosted and our boys conference meet that we hosted. Just a couple things I want to say about them. The organization that was done by Mr. Pickett, Mr. Score, these wrestling meets went so smooth. There was not much dead time other than when you had to wait for the next match, when you had to wait the certain wait time that the wrestlers had. It was constant wrestling, and those two guys did a great job of putting that together. So kudos to them. And it's always fun when you go to those events. And I heard it a couple times, one from a student and one from a parent, about how much they love that facility, and how one of them said, this is like a college. I thought that was pretty cool to hear. So always nice to hear those things. Let's see, coming up February 14th, that's Saturday. Our Senator Sandy Solomon will be at the community center. So I would encourage people to go and respectfully advocate for public schools and for the things that are dear to you. The other thing I want to say is this time of year is what I call the prime academic real estate, if that makes sense to you. It's that time before daylight savings time. It's a time where there's still not a whole lot going on outside. And I tell you, I don't get in our classes as much as I would like to, but when I do, our teachers are cooking and are doing such a good job coming down this stretch that I just wanted to say it's a prime academic time, and I just am so thankful for all the great things that our teachers do. That's all I have.
Great. I just want to thank the members of the public that came tonight to tell us about how Denver Schools has impacted their lives. As a board, we don't oftentimes hear those things. We might only get the negative sometimes. And so it's really helpful for us to hear from the public in this forum about how the culture's being developed from administration and teachers and staff and everyone. That is significant for us to hear, because obviously that reaffirms what we'd like to think we know, which is that they all work incredibly hard to continue to foster what resulted in the scores that we found out at the last meeting. So again, I just want to thank the public for coming here tonight. We welcome those comments, and I really appreciate you putting in the time to come and tell us about those things tonight. With that, board members, do you have any other comments too? Go right ahead. I'll also thank Amber for going to wrestling. I thought that was, that's a time commitment, and you also work very hard. So I want to thank Amber for devoting her time in that regard down there at the tournament as well.
We go every time. These guys are good people. I want to give a shout out to Nate Score. He's got a lot going on with all of these things. I've interacted with him a few times with all the schedules and this team and that team and travel and all the things. And I don't know how you keep all that going, but I saw this multiple screens and all these color coded, just crazy amount of information, and people go in 8 different directions. So saw kind of what you get to do firsthand, and that's incredible. So shout out to you for all that hard work and keeping all of us going.
You good?
I know Cybots was brought up. If you've never been to a Cybots, a robotics competition, you 100% have to go. I've been following our nephew around to a couple, he's in Grundy Center, but. I remember when our kids were in Lego League back then, and it is so fun to watch. And I remember even when Sam was back then, and Sam was an MC one year here, and he shows up and the MCs wear like weird costumes and stuff, and just encourage you to get out and watch it. You won't regret it.
Anything else? Ryan, you have anything?
No, I'm good tonight.
Okay. All right. That I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, folks.
Yeah, I have. Thank you guys. Yeah, we usually pretty. Sorry. Yeah. Roy told me you look like.